You don't deserve that money, Elena. It's mine by rights, and I'll prove it in court. My dad's voice boomed across the family meeting table. What are you gonna do with it anyway? Waste it like you've wasted your life? Family members nodded, smirking. I stayed silent, but whispered to myself, you have no idea what's coming. Hi, I'm Elena, and I'm 35 years old. I work as a mid-level accountant in a small firm downtown. In my family, I was always the overlooked sibling. They favored my brother, the one they always praised. I struggled with self-doubt from their constant criticism. It made me question everything about myself. But I had this dream of starting my own financial consulting business. I wasn't the star of the family or living in luxury, but I had smarts and connections they never bothered to notice. Growing up, I felt invisible most days. The house was full of shouts praising my brother for his sports trophies or good grades. Me? I got eye rolls for my quiet interest in numbers. I poured my energy into learning finance on my own. Books from the library became my escape. That built a quiet confidence inside me, even with all the put-downs. For years, I let them define me as the lesser one. But deep down, I knew I was building something real, something that could change my path. If you've ever felt invisible in your own family, even with dreams burning inside, you're not alone. Hit that subscribe button if you've been overlooked but kept pushing anyway. I want to hear how you turned it around in the comments. Let's build each other up. Click hype, and let's dive into what happened next. It all started after Mom passed away last year. Dad went through her old papers and discovered this $120,000 college fund that Grandma had set aside specifically for me. Grandma saw something in me when I was little. She tucked away money from her savings, naming me the sole beneficiary. But Dad claimed it was family money, not mine alone. He said it should go to the whole household, or at least to him as the head. Without warning, he filed a lawsuit to redirect it all to himself. I couldn't believe it. We had a heated family call one evening. His voice crackled over the speaker. You're 35 and still scraping by at that dead-end job. Give it to someone who'll use it right, like your brother. He's got a family to support. His words hit like a punch. My cheeks burned. I confronted him privately the next day, driving to his house with my heart pounding. The living room smelled like stale coffee and regret. I sat across from him and said, Dad, that fund is mine. Grandma wanted me to have it for my future. He just laughed it off, leaning back in his chair. You were always the disappointment. This fund should have never been yours. You're not smart enough to handle it. I left shaking, tears blurring my vision on the drive home. But it got worse. At our next family gathering, a barbecue in Aunt Linda's backyard, Dad announced the suit to all the relatives. The grill sizzled with burgers, but the air turned cold for me. Elena's trying to hog money that's rightfully ours, he said loudly, pointing at me. Relatives sided with him right away. My uncle nodded, saying, Yeah, share it fair. They whispered about my failures behind my back. She's single, no kids. What does she need it for? One cousin muttered. I stood there, plate in hand, feeling small and exposed. Everyone avoided my eyes. The humiliation burned deep. Then the shocking twist came. Court papers arrived by certified mail a week later. They demanded I prove my worth to the fund, like I had to justify why Grandma chose me. It listed Dad's claims that I was unfit, even lazy. That amplified the betrayal. How could my own father drag me through this? I stared at the documents on my kitchen table, the words blurring. This wasn't just about money. It was him trying to erase what Grandma saw in me. The betrayals kept piling up after that. First, Dad excluded me from family events. He called one afternoon while I was at work. Until you drop this fund nonsense, you're not welcome at Thanksgiving or anything else. His tone was final, like I was a stranger. I overheard him on a group chat later, telling others I was greedy and selfish. She's tearing the family apart over cash, he said. It hurt to hear my name twisted like that. I skipped the holiday, eating alone in my apartment. The silence was deafening. Second betrayal came at my cousin's birthday party. I showed up anyway, hoping to smooth things, but Dad loudly complained about my entitlement in the crowded living room. Look at her, thinking she's owed everything without earning it. Relatives turned away, ignoring me like I was invisible. Whispers followed me to the kitchen. I bit back quietly for the first time. "Dad, that's not true," I said under my breath. He just smirked. It showed my initial resilience, a spark igniting inside. I left early, vowing not to crumble. Third, the manipulation hit hardest. Dad tried to turn my brother against me with lies about me stealing the money or something ridiculous. It led to a painful confrontation at a coffee shop. My brother sat across from me, fidgeting. "Just let it go, Elena. You're making us all suffer. Dad says you're being unreasonable." His words stung because we used to be close as kids. I felt tears well up but held them back. "He's lying to you too," I replied. Throughout this, I suffered emotionally. Nights were rough. I'd lie awake questioning my value. Was I really the failure they said I was? But I started journaling my side of things. Writing it out helped clear my head. I gained small strength from coworkers' support. One coworker, Sarah, listened over lunch. "You're stronger than this," she said. It boosted me a bit. The conflicts escalated with Dad's taunting emails. "You'll lose everything in court," one read. I replied firmly for once. "I'm not backing down this time." My hands shook as I hit send, but it felt right. Each betrayal pushed me lower, yet I began to rise, piece by piece. The family's actions isolated me more, but my resolve hardened. I avoided their calls, focusing on my job. The air in my office felt fresher, away from their toxicity. Still, doubt crept in during quiet moments. Hearing my brother's voice echo Dad's lies made me bitter. I remembered childhood slights, like them celebrating his wins while mine went unnoticed. It fueled me to fight. What they didn't know was I had a powerful secret ally, a bank manager named Mr. Thompson who'd overseen Grandma's accounts for years. He knew the real story behind the fund. I'd kept in touch with him quietly over the years, sharing my progress in finance. He had documents that could change everything, original wills, transaction records showing Grandma's intent. I'd visited the bank often, not just for check-ins. The lobby always smelled like polished wood and fresh coffee. There, I learned secrets about family finances that Dad hid, like how he'd borrowed against other accounts without telling anyone. Mr. Thompson shared bits, seeing my potential. "You're sharp, Elena," he'd say. I had a plan they never saw coming, one that would expose his lies without me saying a word. I'd line up Mr. Thompson as a surprise witness. While Dad plotted his court strategy, thinking I was alone, I was gathering ammo. Emails from the bank, timestamps proving the fund's setup. It built suspense in my mind. What if this backfired? But no, the evidence was solid. While they plotted, I was lining up the truth, ready to strike back. Each visit to the bank felt like a step toward justice. The sound of papers shuffling echoed my growing confidence. Dad bragged to others about his win, but I smiled inwardly. This ally was my ace. My loyal childhood friend, Jamie, stepped in during those tough weeks. We'd grown up together, sharing secrets since grade school. She helped me gather evidence, sorting through old emails and bank statements late into the night. "You've got this, Elena," she encouraged over coffee. "They've underestimated you for too long. Let's make sure the court sees the real you." Her words lifted me when I felt low. Meanwhile, my family's arrogance grew. Dad boasted to relatives at dinners I wasn't invited to. "Winning this easily," he'd say, assuming I had no resources. My brother flaunted new purchases funded by Dad, like a fancy watch posted on social media. It irked me, but I stayed focused. Tension built as I faced more legal threats. Dad's lawyer sent intimidating letters demanding I settle. "You'll regret dragging this out," one warned. But Jamie's helped simulate court scenarios in her living room. We'd role-play questions, strengthening my resolve. The clock ticked louder each day toward the hearing. Family spread rumors online about my ungratefulness. Posts on our group page called me out. "Elena's being so selfish," one read. It pushed me to the edge, anger boiling. Jamie calmed me. "Use it as fuel," she said. We reviewed documents under dim lamplight, the scent of takeout pizza filling the air. My heart raced thinking of the trial. Dad thought he had it locked, but with Jamie's support, I felt ready. The buildup was intense, nights sleepless, yet her friendship anchored me. The day in court arrived, tension thick in the air. The courtroom smelled like old wood and stress. Dad sat confidently across the aisle, presenting his case first. His lawyer argued the fund was a mistake meant for the family. Dad sneered from the stand. "She's got no proof. Hand it over." My stomach twisted, but I stayed calm. Then my lawyer stood. "We call Mr. Thompson, the bank manager, as a witness." Gasps rippled through the room. Dad's face paled. Mr. Thompson took the oath, papers in hand. "I managed that account," he said firmly. "It was explicitly for Elena, per her grandmother's instructions, and here's the documentation proving your attempts to access it illegally, sir." He laid out emails and logs showing Dad's sneaky inquiries years back. The judge leaned forward, eyebrows raised. Dad exploded. "This can't be!" But the evidence was damning. Forged signatures on some forms came to light. The backfire was swift. Judge ruled against Dad, exposing his forged claims. "This is fraud," the judge declared. Family members in the gallery gasped, hands over mouths. Dad's furious outburst echoed, "You set me up!" I stood, confronting him as the gavel banged. "I thought you were weak, but I fought for what's mine." Consequences hit hard. Dad faced potential fraud charges, his reputation shattered. My brother slunk away, avoiding my eyes. The room buzzed with whispers. I felt a rush of victory, cold and satisfying. No more doubts. The Allies' words sealed it. Justice served right there. With the funds secured, I launched my consulting business. It felt empowering, free from family toxicity at last. I rented a small office, hired an assistant, and clients came in steady. No more scraping by. Dad apologized weakly over the phone weeks later. I didn't mean for it to go this far, but relatives shunned him, siding with me for once. My brother reached out awkwardly in a text. "Sorry, sis, I was wrong." He faced his own fallout, Dad cutting his handouts. Walking away from that courtroom, I realized my worth wasn't in their approval. It was in standing up for myself. That day taught me something key. Sometimes the quiet ones have the loudest comebacks. I built a new life, surrounded by true supporters like Jamie and work friends. No longer defined by betrayal, I thrived. The business grew, and so did I. If your family ever tried to steal your financial security or future like mine did with that fund, I know the sting. Share your story in the comments. Did someone contest what was rightfully yours? Subscribe to connect with others who fought back against money betrayals. Click Hype to help the story reach others who need it. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and click Hype to help it reach more people who need to hear it. Your voice matters in our community. Share your own experience in the comments below. I'm reading.